Most people think they need more sleep tips, a more consistent sleep schedule, a new supplement, a new sleeping pill, a new medication, another breathing technique. But the truth is, the only real sleep hack you need is understanding this. Most people who can't sleep, they are trying to sleep, trying to control it, trying to force it, trying to make it happen. And the more that you try, the more that your body stays awake. But the people who sleep well, they don't try. They allow sleep to happen because sleep isn't something that you do. Sleep is a state that your body naturally drops into when it feels safe enough to let go. So this entire video is about shifting from trying to allowing. Because once you make that shift, sleep stops being a problem that you have to solve, and it becomes something that your body just returns to naturally all on its own. Just like breathing, just like digestion, just like every other instinct that you were born with. Sleeping easily is your default. We just need to help your brain remember that. So let's break this down. All right, when you try to sleep, this creates emotional pressure. Emotional pressure says to the brain, this is really important. We need to make sure this happens. And the brain responds to pressure the same way it responds to stress. It releases cortisol, which is the stress hormone. And cortisol causes alertness, the opposite of sleeping. It's your stay awake hormone. So the moment you start trying to sleep, your nervous system starts doing the opposite because cortisol and melatonin can't be high at the same time. It's like a seesaw. So when emotional pressure goes up, cortisol goes up. And when cortisol goes up, melatonin goes down. Melatonin drops. And when melatonin drops, your body stays awake. So it's not that you can't sleep. It's just that your body is responding to the pressure around the topic of sleep. Your brain is saying, something important is happening. I should stay awake for this. So this is why sleep feels like the harder you try, the further away it gets. Because it's not a sleep problem. It's not a sleep problem at all. It's actually a safety response. It's the fight or flight response quite literally kicking in. So you're not staying awake because you can't sleep. You're staying awake because your brain thinks it's not time to sleep. It's time to do something really important. And if something really important is happening, it makes no sense to be asleep. And this is actually really good news that you're here and that this is the way that it works, because this understanding changes literally the game, the sleep game, because your brain is incredibly adaptive, which we know through the science of neuroplasticity. So your brain is constantly creating new neural pathways based on new information that it learns. And it's also losing old neural pathways based on information that it's no longer using. So, okay, if this is resonating with you, take a moment and I want you to type I allow in the comments. Just those two words, I allow. These two words are going to begin reinforcing this new pattern. Because anything that the brain learns for protection, it can also unlearn, untrain that response. You don't have to force sleep. You just have to help your body feel safe again, existing in the present moment. That's all I'm about right now. Let's just exist in the present moment peacefully instead of our minds going in 1,000 directions and taking everything as if it's like such a life or death situation. The urgency, we need to just like come back to existing and looking around. Where are you right now? What is going on right now? Clearly you're fine because you're watching this video. You're not being chased by a tiger. That is the whole vibe. I'm all about that. So it's about helping your body feel safe again. And that shift from pressure into safety is what restores your natural sleep. So that's going to bring us to the next part. All right, there are 3 pressure traps, 3 mindset pressure traps that are literally destroying your sleep. So we have the pressure mindset versus the trust mindset. The pressure mindset says, I need to sleep. Like it's the most important thing in the world. This is the mindset most people are in when they're struggling. They think that I have to make it happen. I have to make it happen, or tomorrow's going to be terrible. I'm going to feel terrible. I'm not going to be able to do what I need to do. Like, just everything depends on sleep. Versus, this is the mindset of somebody who sleeps well naturally. The mindset is, my body sleeps when it's ready. Sleep is something that the body naturally does when it needs to. So the shift from pressure to trust is the game you are playing. But if you're stuck with insomnia right now, it's not your fault, because there's a lot of counterintuitive information out there in the sleep world, okay? So that's where I came up with these 3 common traps, these pressure traps that pull you into the pressure mindset, okay? So let's walk through them. Trap number 1 is rushing to get to bed. We're taught, based off all the research you do on the internet, that you got to have a consistent bedtime. You got to get 8 hours of sleep. And so that leads us to feel this pressure to get to bed by a certain time. All of that advice does not help. This is why I was stuck with insomnia for 16 years, by the way, because I was just in this cycle of putting all this pressure on myself and falling into these freaking traps because it's the advice that you read that's on the internet. So when you rush to get to bed, you're sending your nervous system the message, we're hurrying. So if we're hurrying, something must be wrong. We must need to fix something. And the sympathetic nervous system will always activate when it hears that sense of urgency. So like I said before, your cortisol goes up and your melatonin goes down. So you get physically more awake the faster you try to get to bed, or the more mental pressure you put on yourself about needing to be in bed by a certain time. You cannot rush your way into sleep. Rushing and resting are 2 different nervous system responses. Rushing is the sympathetic fight or flight nervous system. Resting is the parasympathetic rest and digest nervous system state. So here's what you're going to do. This is what you do. So if it is later than you planned getting into bed, slow down. Move slower. It's like all of a sudden it's molasses. You're just moving through molasses. There is no urgency. Start acting as if you have all the time in the world. Do your whole bedtime routine slowly. Move as if nothing is urgent, nothing important is happening. Because your body is going to respond and wind down faster when you do that. So your body is going to follow the mental pace that you choose to be in. So this is a conscious thing to be aware of, because it just takes the awareness consciously for you to start shifting all of these that we're going to go through. Okay. Now, trap 2 is counting hours. If I had counted the number of times I had counted how many hours of sleep I was going to get or not going to get, because my alarm was going to go off and it was already 3 a.m., 4 a.m. Holy crap. Okay. This gets everybody. It gets everybody. It even gets people who, sleep pretty well. This gets everybody. So we look at the time and we think, oh, if I fall asleep right now, I'm only going to get 5 hours, 4 hours, 3 hours of sleep. And then instantly that same sympathetic stress nervous system activates. But here's what most people don't realize. It's actually not the number of hours that makes you feel terrible the next day. It's the stress about the number of hours. Because some nights you sleep 9 hours and you feel exhausted, and other nights you sleep 4 or 5 and you function completely fine. If you're able to relax in bed and rest, even if it's all night long and you've got technically 0 sleep, you're going to end up feeling better the next day than if you got frustrated about only having a few hours of sleep left. Do you see what I'm saying? It's the cortisol, the stress pumping through your body, that actually makes you feel worse. So your body is so adaptable. You are so much more capable. You are capable of functioning on less sleep than you think. But it's the stress that's the problem, not the number of hours. Okay. Next, the next pressure trap is having this perfect sleep standard. Too high of standards. So if you've ever said things like, tonight has to be a good night. I cannot afford another bad night. I really need to fall asleep quickly tonight. If I don't sleep well, tomorrow is ruined. I have to feel good tomorrow. I have to feel rested tomorrow. I have this work thing. I have this thing, whatever it is. I need to get at least 7 or 8 hours tonight. If I wake up in the middle of the night, then I'm going to be so upset about that, right? Anything to that effect. There's a million other examples we could give, but that mindset, your brain is treating sleep like a performance. And when sleep becomes something that you have to get right, your nervous system starts treating it like it's high stakes. And high stakes is pressure, and pressure is cortisol, and cortisol is alert brain, and alert brain is no sleep. So the tighter your grip on sleep, the more it slips through your fingers. And the people who sleep well, they don't think about sleep that much at all. They can care about their sleep in the sense that they can, prioritize it, but they don't cling to having a certain standard. Sleep is a non-issue to them. It's not something that they have to try to get right. It's something that their body just does. And honestly, I talk about sleep a lot, clearly, but I don't think about my own sleep. I really don't. I've completely detached all of my emotions from it. And I genuinely just don't give a damn about how many hours of sleep I get. I'm just going to go on with my life. And I know it's going to rebalance. It's not a problem in my mind. So all three of these traps, rushing, counting, and the perfectionism, they all create the same result, which is emotional pressure. Cortisol increases, alertness, and you can't sleep. So none of this has anything to do with you not having the ability to sleep. Your sleep is not broken. It's just that the brain has been believing that there is a reason to be alert. And that means that the solution is not more effort to try harder to sleep. The solution is trust. Remembering what your body already knows how to do. And from that place, you shift from trying to allowing. Trust, detachment. I allow. So if you take nothing else from this video, let it be this. You don't have to try to sleep. Your body already knows how. My body sleeps when it's ready. Sleep returns to you. It comes to you. It's not something you chase. Sleep comes to you. So it's going to come to you faster when you take the emotional pressure off. You slow down your pace at night and during the day. We didn't even talk about during the day. Go watch my other videos for that one. Slow down your pace, no more counting, and stop treating your whole life like it's an emergency. This is the only sleep hack that actually matters. Not the supplements, not tracking your sleep, not having the perfect bedtime routine. It's just this shift from trying to allowing. And yes, your brain will want to slip back into the old patterns at first because you're in a transition. You're in this transition phase now. That's normal. Your nervous system learned to be alert predominantly. And now you're shifting into being chill predominantly. If you'd like more help with this, I have some great resources for you. I have a free masterclass where we dive even deeper and I walk you through the 3-step strategy that my clients use to get their natural sleep back quickly. The link to that masterclass is in the description below. And if you want something that you can use to help you slow down and stop caring about your sleep as soon as tonight, I have an entire playlist on my channel of a new style of video that I started doing recently called wind downs. These are videos of me actually coaching you in real time to shift your brain out of survival mode before bed. So I'll put that playlist on the screen, so check it out now.